Welcome back, dear viewers, and we're going to be starting on shedding more light on the impact of the presidential visit and diplomatic relations on supporting the economy and increasing investment opportunities and trade exchange between Egypt and other countries, specifically Saudi Arabia. How do you view this?
Firstly, very good morning. I would like to thank you and Nile TV family for their interesting for the Egyptian and Arab economics. Nowadays, we are in progress stage in developing our economy, and we're going for integrate with our vision of 2030, which need a lot of international cooperation. Without highly diplomacy activity, which we call protective diplomacy and economic diplomacy, our project will face a lot of restrictions, because many projects need to import some technologies from outside, and also this project aims to support economics and support our exporters' value. So the diplomacy work an important role to develop and to support economy. For the current situation nowadays, which is critical situation in Middle East, and expected or saying also it call about Iranian and Lebanon's Israel war, that area is restricted. What can happen if there is a war? If we, for example, Russian and Ukrainian war, what happened? Rising in energy prices, and also rising in food security will affect us and was affected, and prices going higher. This affect many countries' strategies and economies. Support also such will support or increase inflation. So our diplomacy, by leadership of Mr. Abdel Fattah al-Sisi, they are playing a very important role nowadays. More than 7 visits in last 10 days from Iran, from Spain, from Saudi Arabia come to Egypt, and Mr. President himself go for Eritrea to meet his brother, Eritrean president. A lot of issues. Without highly diplomacy performance and proactive diplomacy, economy will be affected.
Right. Dr. Walid, actually the visit of His Excellency Crown Prince Mohammed bin Salman is very special, in the sense that this is actually, I guess, it's his second visit to Egypt, and also comes at a very important time, and is followed by the visit of Sheikh Mohammed bin Zayed, yes, the ruler of Emirates. So if we are going to analyze this visit, it comes with highly important timing, and the way even he was received by President al-Sisi, the guards of honor, and how warmly he was received was very, it was very important, in the sense that it reflected the importance of this visit. I want you to emphasize the importance of the timing and the benefits of this visit, exactly the common interests of both countries, which are many at this time, this critical time. Of course, there is economic partnership, there is cultural partnership, but there is strategic partnership, yes, at the same time. If you like to elaborate.
Yes, simply, if it's normal visit, we will assign a meeting and all will stand in one table. But when each country come separately, that means they have their own agenda to discuss with Egypt. True. And they have their own plan to do with Egypt, because Egypt playing a very important role nowadays in a lot of strategies outside. Like, for example, 23 vision for your KSA, Kingdom of Saudi Arabia. This vision need a lot of support from Egyptian experience, a lot of material. Do you know how many items Egypt exported to Saudi Arabia? More than 700 items from Egyptian product, which at last statistics from Export Authority at the report of 2022. More than 700 export items, which equal $2 billion. And the aim, average, by closing the 2024, is approximately 4 billion. And the import is also from Saudi Arabia, which is affect the commerce balance, which more than 6 billion, because Egyptian in Saudi Arabia is more than 2.5 million persons. That means they export a lot of things when they come back to holidays in Egypt. They export their own cars. They also, there is a lot of investors in Egypt from Saudi Arabia, and vice versa. A lot of investors from Egypt invest already or have already project in Saudi Arabia. I have been in Saudi Arabia last month, and I have honor to invite it to the food security conference. I saw a lot of Egyptian investors and a lot of facilities to take the Egyptian experience from Egypt to develop some like agriculture facilities, mining operation. Already you have a lot of experience and a lot of companies and contractors working in oil and gas sectors. So this aim to support the strategy, and also Saudi Arabia have also elected for the World Cup in 2034. And why is this issue also being an agenda to be discussed in Egypt? The answer is because Egypt now have a nice coasts, live places for football teams to be trained, like what happened in Al Ain City last month. In Al Ain City, some Saudi Arabia clubs come to do their training sessions here, and when we look forward also, if they also take the luck to be the organizer for the World Cup in 2034, they also will use our media experience to support the football matches, to support the construction, to support food accommodation, transit flights through Egypt Air and some national companies. So a lot of strategies may be built, a lot of projects just for one item in the agenda, which World Cup election. And also there is a lot of plans for new projects from Saudi Arabia in Egypt, which also playing a very important role in developing Egypt economy.
Okay, so commenting on that, we have deals with over $15 billion coming to Egypt from Saudi Arabia on projects like renewable energy industry, real estate developments, and tourism technology and water and so on. So how can we enhance and increase the volume of investments between the two countries? How can we attract more investors to come and invest in our country to boost the economic stage that we're facing now?
Very simple plan can support a good efficiency. Just engage entrepreneurs, because now focus is between the focus between big companies looking for a big brands to tie in with big brands in Egypt or a big national company project, and they talk about one big project and follow up. But the entrepreneurs in both youth, the young, our young power from Saudi or from Egypt, they are a main contributing factor, because the small companies and the startups whom developing the economics. So this one of the important contributing factor. We should have a plan to engage small companies, consulting firms. Also in Saudi Arabia, they facilitate Egyptian investment in Egypt. If you wanted to, for example, open a consulting firm in Saudi Arabia, you will apply, you have your own sponsorship. But some restriction I have seen that if you alone or one person company, this is not allowed. then you
be
have
a
to go
group.
for a lawyer
Yes.
in Jeddah or in Riyadh, and the lawyer will talk to you, okay, you should pay another company in Egypt to have 2 or 3 persons, and then you come back to invest. You have to pay for that. This more cost. This still restricts some Egyptian entrepreneurs and businessmen to go to invest in Saudi Arabia. This also I recommend it to be solved with support of our Ministry of Affairs, because something you have value, like you establish a media training agency. So you just need no problem to be a one-person company, and you sell your experience without any material to export or shipping or container. You sell thinking. You sell as a think tank for other countries, not
They
just
can
Saudi
collaborate
Arabia, all
together
over,
right.
all over. So in Switzerland, for example, last month, we asking about establishing for the young people, our young. You should to invest and have just 9 months residency. You have to invest not less than 100,000 Swiss franc or $1,000, which equal according $1.25. So it's highly cost, but we need also to go, like we should export, because we need to analyze the market and to see what their needs. Then we will start exporting from here.
Right. Let me take it from where he's talking about entrepreneurship and how important are the Egyptian entrepreneurs and the Egyptian expertise in general to the Gulf people. For years and years and years, people in the Gulf and in Saudi Arabia in particular have been taking a very keen interest in acquiring experience from Egyptians,
Yes.
and getting trained by the Egyptians and all that. Now, this is one field. We need to look over the fronts of collaboration or common interest between both countries. Of course, we have always heard about NEOM.
Yes.
This huge project that is Saudi people and Saudi companies are looking forward to establish, and also in collaboration with Egypt as part of also
Yes,
this project.
exactly.
So we're talking infrastructure projects, we're talking electronics, we're talking tourism, like you mentioned, we're talking future sports championships and everything. So also Saudis are being trained by Egyptian expertise. So if you like to talk about the common interest between both fronts, both sides, both countries, and also the future partnerships.
Sure, we have some plans to support this vision, and especially for our narrow product and the narrow industry, because gradually Saudi Arabia starts to decrease the number of sponsorship. Before, you should go and have a sponsor, and so sponsor district you, and because we are not too all in Arab countries good playing in teamwork, so the partners have some troubles between together. They have some legal problems, and they disconnect the companies. Okay, for example, a lot of companies is established, started, and then closed. Why? Because partners have this different views or strategies. So we should focus with the narrow area we have, like agriculture manufacture, for example, frozen materials, which we export to outside. Egypt, one of the leader in exporting citrus. So we have to do good relationship with the buyers outside, invite them, facilitate to them our paperwork, support them in shipping, and this it have mentioned very well, and opening by IBDA initiative and the national project MAPCO, which also have some progress to export Saudi Arabia our Egyptian quality product. This also been enhanced with the sector of mining. Now Egypt become one of the leaders in mining, and Saudi Arabia have a big mining national company, Ma'aden, KSA, like Aramco in Saudi Arabia, they have a lot of visions. They establish and they do their external strategy outside, and also they have focused in Egyptian market because we are also a big consumer country. So some area in oil and gas, in agriculture manufacture, in mining, in media, and education, we should focus. If we focus for entrepreneurs, we should focus for small plants, then they gradually will be a good business brands. Like logistics, for example. Saudi Arabia is highly efficient in logistics because Gulf area, by their location, they have good logistics operations. Egypt have good expertise in national logistic operation management. So that this one of the point which can be cooperated. And for this example, some brands in Saudi Arabia depends on Egyptian logistic teams to run their operate their facilities efficiently.
Okay, so commenting on that, how do you see the strong ties between Egypt and Saudi Arabia and the Arab countries or the Gulf regions in general? How do you see them affect the GDP in general?
We should focus for long term.
Yes.
Because big projects now have a lot of resources to work. For example, a future Egypt project. It's a big project and open hand for cooperate with international and national friends. But where is the resources? We have 1.4 million hectare. Big support from the presidency. Without US involvement, without teams and our exporters' involvement, without issuing and support our community outside, like Egyptian community and Saudi Arabia is the second, the biggest community all over the world. 2.5 million persons, 2.5 million Egyptian, they are settled down, they are resident in Saudi Arabia, for example. Yes. How this value could be tied.
How can we benefit from this? How can we turn the table and make it work actually in our advance?
They focus our communities outside, or most of people, they are focused when they are work and sending their money, hard coins back, hard currency back here for real estate or cars.
Right.
Then, okay.
Minister of Transport and Industry, Kamal al-Wazir, have earlier inaugurated an industrial production line for investments in the new city of Nubaria.
Yes.
That was a very vital step, and also in the presence of a deputy Saudi ambassador to Egypt and a number of Saudi investors. Is that an indicator for a future economic or project partnership between Saudis and Egyptians in that particular line? And also, would we hope that this could pump up some investments into the Egyptian transport sector?
In both Egyptian transport and Egyptian industry. Industry, okay. The project in Nubaria, and by the way, I am from this area, and I have long experience with such brands. This project in Nubaria is one of the biggest milk market share in Egypt, and the Saudi brand also is one of the largest market share in Saudi Arabia. And have good quality product and have good sustainability and health and safety procedure which support running operations. So Mr. Kamal al-Wazir, and due his opening yesterday, he's impressed and he focused about how we transfer this. Also, we need another module. But we should support this module first, from my point of view, because as you start with transport, is a very important. If you have factory, you should have good roads and good transportation and good support for distribution and sales. Without good roads, good bridges, good infrastructure, good airports, we cannot support sales for this product. So, and I have mentioned also, I recommended to Mr. Kamil Wazir that this area in the front of this factory, they have no bridge. You should go 200 kilometers along to take a bridge coverage and come to the factory. And I request here from your TV, your Nile TV, that we should build in kilometer 75, especially because it's help more than 14 processing export fruits and vegetable station export to the world. But the design of the Cairo-Alexandria Desert Road is every 10 kilometers you have U-turn bridge. So in this area there is a no bridge, so the transport about 200 heavy vehicles should go to kilometer 71 road, take a bridge, and go to 80 road, take a bridge. This is still complicated area, and no one mentioned. I hope someone of the visitors or Buhaira Governorate yesterday to mention this point to support logistic at the kilometer 75 in middle of this industrial area. So and this example and the module which employ about direct 5,000 persons and indirect employment about 20,000, 30,000 Egyptian, because the economy of this project, not just stand on the factory itself. Factory will produce product will go for sales, sales will go for distributors. So a lot of people working around this, we consider it national because it's a support national economy and employ our experience, and also
provide job opportunities.
Job opportunities, business, a good role module.
Right. On this note, of course, Dr. Walid Kamal, you are an international business consultant and you're also UN Observer COP29. I'd like to thank you very much coming over to the breakfast show.
Thank you.
Thank you very much for
have a good day.
For being with us today.
Thank you so much.
And now we're going to go to a short break and we'll come to continue the breakfast show. So stay with us.